Hey, you. Yeah, you, come here. I want to show you. This is what happened last time on the Incorrigible party.
With Bron at her side, Mia has no choice but to lead the party through twisting, darkling tunnels, when their exit is overwhelmed by snarling jackalware. Set upon by Nyogi from dark corridors all around them, the party races to find their escape from this maze before being overtaken. Eventually, the party locates one of many hidden passageways into the sewer system itself, allowing them to get to the surface.
And over here? The adventure continues. Curious they are not following us.
Who cares? Let's get out of here.
To the Tickly?
Yeah, I need to clean up a bit.
Yeah, the inn sounds good to me.
Yes, let's go and we can all clean up and gather ourselves a bit.
Is it busy streets or?
Yeah, is anyone looking and seeing us?
Yeah, so you didn't exactly have the luxury of choosing where you got to come out of the sewers. Kind of like, like where when Jolvi was leading you to a more secluded exit from the sewer system. So yes, you're all like, oh wow, no one's following us, and then like people on the streets are like, they've stopped and are just staring at the lot of you having just climbed out of this sewer grating.
Don't go down there. It's a disaster.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to the mayor about this. It's a mess down there. Everybody, steer clear of this manhole.
All manholes, really.
One of the, someone's, thanks for the advice. And then they, like, promptly turn and start to walk away from you.
I start walking towards the Tickly with my head down.
I'll follow after him with my head up.
Oh my god.
I immediately kind of tug Bron aside while we're walking. Bron, why were you in Druk Hall? What's happening? What happened?
Give me an insight check, Mia, as he gives you his response.
Oh, he's a doppelganger. Frick.
My insight's 26, but I also could cast Zone of Truth. Oh, I don't think I have Zone of Truth prepared. Okay, 26.
Bron has had to, he's got his arm back around you again, needing your support after, the adrenaline's kind of fading from all of your bodies, right? That kind of come down after the rush of the combat and the chase, semi-chase. So he's got his hand around your shoulder, and you see that as you ask him, like, what's happened. He doesn't necessarily try to hide it, but it's not like he's being purposeful in his facial movements. Like, it's almost involuntary, but he kind of like glances up at Shaft as you ask him this question, turning to you and answering you. I was Mother and Father sent me. We were here to set up a temple of Thor. I was kidnapped.
Wait, why were we setting up a temple in Druk Hall?
Well, there are worshippers everywhere. We're just spreading Thor's influence.
How long ago was this?
The time down there, I was kept awake for days on end. I don't know. And again, you kind of see him glance to Shaft.
Can I hear this conversation?
I did say I pulled him sort of aside, but I don't think that it's far enough away. I think you would hear it, yeah.
Bron is definitely not being quiet. Like he's speaking normally.
Yeah. I just sort of wanted to focus his attention on me, sort of thing.
Can I do an insight check on what he's saying?
Sure.
21.
It doesn't seem like he would have a reason to lie to, any of the party members, but especially Mia, being his sister. From the little bit that, Mia has spoken about Bron, she's spoken that he is, truthful and I don't know if you would have say the word, I don't know if Mia would use the word like noble, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, so Bron, they sent you to Druk Hall by yourself to set up a whole temple? That seems like a big job.
We had a contingent of barrack guardsmen, and I met with the mayor. I was at a party at his house, actually, when I was nabbed.
Oh?
Yeah, that's when we met. After the party, we shared a carriage.
Wait, you know him from before?
Well, briefly. I mean, I didn't even put two and two together, really.
So what happened to the guards?
Last I saw, they were, heading down the road.
Honestly, Shaft, I'm surprised to see you alive. I thought Killian left you for dead.
Yeah, speaking of Killian, any idea where I might find him?
I was his captive. If I could give you any insight into where he might be or what he's doing, I would give it. But he took me after our carriage flipped to Hannah, directly to her. I've been in chains ever since.
What did Hannah want with you?
She was a little less direct than outright telling me what she wanted, but she interrogated me about your whereabouts constantly.
Really?
There was a bounty out.
For me?
For Brightwoods.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So that makes sense with Detmer and the papers at the desk. Bron, I hate to tell you this, but I'm pretty sure that Mom and Dad, they're in trouble. I try to keep in touch with them, and the last time I spoke to them, they sounded pretty mind-controlled.
They were fine when I left. You mean Barrack's fallen?
I mean, you don't know how long ago you left, but I mean, I've talked to them recently, and they answered, and they weren't themselves. You know what I mean?
Then why are we still here? We have to get home.
The fight is with the Neogi. The Neogi have spread all over the place. We've teamed up with the Paladins and Samuel Cultus. We're meeting him as soon as we can. I mean, basically as soon as we can recover from this fight. You can come with us.
I thought you had an arrangement with them. That Barrack was safe. You assured us.
I had an arrangement with one Neogi I met. Year or so ago now. I mean, who knows? He might be dead, and the arrangement's gone.
Well, Hannah was trying to find you guys. And what was she doing down there with that Neogi on the table that was all splayed out and opened up? You had a great view from where you were.
I unfortunately saw the whole gruesome act. She was exploring its body, its makeup. She pulled pieces out, cut pieces open, studying it, I guess.
And did she learn anything?
Nothing she would have shared with her prisoner.
Did she torture you?
She wouldn't believe that I didn't know your whereabouts, Mia.
Well, it was pretty obvious she was out for me at the theater, and her jackals really attacked me. I was all but dead. Jolvi saved my life. And Hannah's dead. We killed her.
What happened down there? The jackals and the Neogi, what was going on?
All I know is Neogi are trying to take over Aspara, trying to mind control anything it can in its way, turn it against its enemies.
I wonder if the jackals blame the Neogi for Hannah's death.
Maybe. They didn't really see you land the killing blow.
That's something to think on.
I mean, Hannah needed you for something. Mia specifically.
It's been a long year, Bron. There's a lot that's happened. As you can see, I'm not in my disguise.
He's kind of noticing for the first time right after everything that's happened. You're not wearing your amulet of disguise. Why? You're not afraid of the attention anymore?
I've become more comfortable in my own skin.
She is a proud woman. She has no need to hide her true self.
I'm pleased to hear that, sister. You were always meant for so much more than what you could offer to service at a temple.
You have no idea.
I think I'm coming to realize that. I met this motley crew taking on a kraken, if you believe it.
You're going to have to fill me in on everything you've seen.
Oh, brother. It's been a long couple weeks.
That is a long story.
And, I will indeed fill you in.
I believe you'll want some alcohol first.
Good thing we're headed to the inn. Oh, and by the way, the inn is kind of in shambles. That's a whole other story. But good thing I'm a fire extinguisher.
Okay. Continuing down, and again, there's no obstruction, so it takes you like the hour and a bit to walk down to the Tickley, and you're just kind of shifted a little west from the Pussycat Palace. That's kind of the overall direction that you had seemed to be navigating through the maze of the Darkling tunnels. So you were a number of blocks, like a few hundred feet over from the Pussycat Palace when you emerged onto the surface. And you arrive at the Tickley, still closed for business. But of course, the lot of you are allowed to come and go as you please.
I'd like to go in and get cleaned up. Take a little time, wipe all the sewage off of me. And I guess go after I'm done cleaning up, I'll go down to the tavern.
Yeah, Falzarin would also like a safe place to sort of have some peace and quiet, maybe take a short rest after he's cleaned up, and take a closer look at this item that is occupying a large amount of space in his bag.
Shakara's gonna go straight for the bar, pour herself a drink, down it, pour another drink, then go upstairs and clean the sewage off.
I'm gonna turn to Bron. When you came to Drukal, did you have lodging somewhere? Your stuff, your armor? Where was it?
I mean, I didn't bring any of my weapons. I was on a mission for Thor. I wasn't here to combat anything.
Okay.
I have no gear.
Let's get you something better to wear. I'll go talk to my friends. And I'm gonna bring Bron with me during this time, and we'll go see Sally, see if there's something she can fit him up with, and extra circlet too, stuff like that.
So again, no extra circlets because you've asked about 6 different times. But there's definitely spare like paladin armor that.
But yeah, spare armor would be great.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can
we'll
set
worry
them
about
up.
the circlet then when we get to the towers.
Right, because Sally has already informed you that with the additional supplies and the troops, that's where the additional circlets will be arriving with.
And then I'll let Bron use my bathroom if he needs to, and we'll wash up too.
Mia obviously would know the difference, but like Bron also, like he looks like he's been emaciated right to the time that he's spent in there. Clearly, what toned muscle, like muscularity he had to his body, has been just eaten away by starvation. So he's definitely not close to being like in his prime.
He's
like
not
when you
brawny.
had left Barrack. He's not brawny. He's just Bron.
Well, good thing, because tomorrow morning I can have a divine feast for us all.
So you're not gonna feed him till then?
No, he can, listen, he can eat, but I'm just trying to remember that I want to have a hero's feast in the morning. This is your reminder so that I don't forget.
Okay, so everyone's getting cleaned up here. Falzarin, do you want to look at the anti-magic device that you got?
Yes, yeah. I would like to study it more closely, see what I can learn from it. And perhaps if I have time, I could ritual cast Identify, see if that tells me anything about it.
You absolutely can do the ritual cast, and it seems that the Identify spell doesn't reveal anything about it. There doesn't seem to be any specific magic involved in its construction or in how it works.
Interesting.
So as you can do is you've already manipulated the mechanical part of it, which again is non-magical. You can take some time to fiddle around with that and see how it works. I would say a short, like an hour, but I'll actually just we'll make it more 10 minutes, as if you're like ritual casting an inspection spell instead of an identify spell. So it's going to only take you like another 10 minutes rather than spending a whole hour, because by the end of that 10 minutes, you find that the device is honestly not that complicated. Really, what you've already discovered just how it functions, but what you're really figuring out is what each of these little like 4 mode selections actually do, and as far as the effects of the anti-magic field that it produces. As previously mentioned, there are basically 4 switches or positions in which the ring handle on top of it twists and will lock into and kind of click before you can move it on to the next one, and like a dial almost that you're twisting. There's the first mode that you twist it, and this is so you had it in off, right? So technically off would be like the 4th position. You move it into position 1, and because it's 12 sides, pretty much like a quarter of the sides kind of open in one section, and it creates a cone, a very large cone of the anti-magic field. So you see that clearly depending on what shutters are opened on what one of these positions, it's funneling the anti-magic effect into a specific area. So mode 1, you can create a 160-foot cone of anti-magic field. With mode 2, which, why don't you give me a history check?
Uh-oh.
Isn't that an intelligence-based skill, Bill? Come on.
Oh, it is. Yeah, okay, that saves me a little bit. A 9.
Okay. With a 9, you vaguely recall that this may have been the starting position, that when you had pulled it off of the ceiling, or when Mia had ripped it off of the ceiling and handed it to you and you turned it off. This is the mode that it was in. And 6 of the 12, so half of this thing, the shutters expand and open to reveal, that kind of grayish hue, creating an 80-foot cube originating from the device. So it works very similar to the area of effect if you were to cast like Thunderwave. It was like a 15-foot cube from the caster. That's basically how it's, so like 80-foot cube in front of the device. Mode 3, when you turn it, all 12 sides open to create a 40-foot anti-magic sphere. So through your investigation, it's quite clear that, the more of these shutters that are open, I don't say weaker, but the less refined the field is. The obviously the area of effect decreases as more of the light is able to escape from the shutter openings on the 12 sides.
It's almost as though there are like mirrors inside that are reflecting it out, and if only part of it is open, it's a more direct beam.
That's correct, yes. So part of your inspection as well is, these, like the device itself is huge, right? It barely fits in your bag of holding. So you're able to, the shutters themselves are quite large, and peering inside of them, it does look like there are reflective surfaces in there, and inside of it is a concave section of, it looks metallic, but it is incredibly reflective in there. And on one you see a few of the marks and nicks that Shaft's arrows had put into it. It's definitely been damaged a little, but still fully functioning. But at the very bottom of the most, like I guess it would be the deepest part of these concave sections inside of each of the 12 sides, there's like a little pinhole there. Larger than a pinhole, but in kind of relation of how it would function, like if you were using, like when you look at like a solar eclipse kind of thing, you can make that little cardboard with the pinhole that shines it onto the section that you're looking at rather than looking directly at it, kind of thing. Inside of that pinhole, though, you can see what looks like a giant eyeball. Clear, like gray and blue speckled iris. And it just looks like it's kind of just floating around inside of the very center of this device.
Interesting. Okay. Do I have any clue what that might be? Does that sound like anything I've read about?
You can make me an Arcana check.
Is that a 1 or a 7? That's a 1. So, that would be a 7 total, but I rolled a natural 1.
I would say that even with the 7 total, this particular creature that this eyeball originates from is pretty prolific. And for sure you've read stories about its capabilities, because a lot of how this creature functions is almost antithetical to how it should be functioning. This is the giant central eye of a beholder.
Oh, wow. Fascinating. Okay.
That's weird because when you were describing how it worked, I was thinking just like the eye of a beholder.
Yeah, I did not know that a beholder had that ability. Man, that is a nasty creature.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so someone basically slayed a beholder and harvested its eye for this device. All right, so I think that's probably all I need to know about it. I will switch it. Mode 4, I guess, is all closed, right?
That's correct.
So I'll switch it back to mode 4. I guess I'll store it back in my bag of holding, because I don't want it to grow legs and go missing if I just leave it out somewhere in this room. Or be activated and cause havoc. And then I'll perhaps, if we've got time, I'd like to try and get in a short rest, but I'd also like to go down and see if anyone's still at the bar, getting any drinks or getting any food. I'm feeling a bit thirsty and hungry as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that can be part of a short rest that you're all welcome to take and spend any hit dice that you may want to spend, because it's going to be a period of rest and consuming beverages and food. That's fine. Because really, Aspara is your oyster. I mean, what are you all going to be doing?
I am sitting down in the bar, still drinking, and called Sparky out, so he's just sitting with me on my shoulder.
Okay, so Falzern would join you next, then?
Yes.
I'm down there too.
Yeah, when I'm all cleaned up and Bron's got some better gear on, we'll go eat and drink. Well, he'll drink. I won't drink.
Okay, absolutely. So we're all five of us.
What about our other friends?
You're right. I was gonna say Dragon, Hulsa, they were in the room. Did Shakara? You didn't even go to your room though, right?
I did. I just briefly cleaned up a little bit, wiped stuff off, and I would assume Hulsa, Dragon, Kula came down with us.
Correct. Yes. Forgot about Kula.
Kula, now that we are back, and things seem to be settled down, if you feel you must, I release you to go back to Isabella.
Thank you, Auntie Shakara. Glad you were able to accomplish what you needed.
As am I. Give Isabella my regards.
Of course. And yeah, he will take his leave of the Tickly Servant.
You're welcome, Leland.
Okay, one down. All right, 3 more to go.
I want to hear you talk to yourself real quick.
I think I'm going to kick back some little bit harder liquor tonight. Sort of
nice and hungover for Sammy.
Some chatting going. Hey, next one's on me. Round for the table. Bron, you get 2.
Oh yes, guys, this is Bron, my brother.
Nice to meet you.
Well,
again.
no, I'm talking to the new additions.
Yeah, you can make formal introductions for everybody.
I've been drinking.
We didn't even really
fine.
formally introduce Bron to even Shakara and Falsey,
Well,
technically.
you
but
know Shaft.
we can do that now.
Yeah, this is Falzarin and Shakara.
And this is Sparky, Hulsa, and Drag.
Hello, Bron. It's great to meet you.
A friend of Mia's is friends of mine.
Yes, I'm very glad that you're now in our company. My goodness, terrible conditions you were in.
I have to give you all my thanks coming to my aid. How did you know where to find me?
Well, that's a long story.
We had to search.
I knew someone in our family was in trouble. I saw the bright wood crest when I was scrying on Hannah. We knew she was up to no good. We were trying to figure out and spy on her a little bit. I didn't quite know it was you. I was afraid it was Father.
You were scrying. You're able to scry.
Oh, I've leveled up many abilities since we've last talked.
I'm sure there is much you don't know about her. About your dear sister.
You say that with... The way you say that fills me with concern, I must admit, Shakara.
Bron, finish your drink before we start this story.
There have been many revelations lately.
He will finish. He'll down his drink, and I mean, are you gonna fill him in on like everything?
Yeah. I'm gonna start in Mia fashion with, well, Bron. ...
Okay, so all the Daddy Kraken.
Well, I was trying to think of his name. Oh, Cray
Yeah,
Lakina.
you gotta go into all
Yeah,
that.
be like, well, have you heard of Cray Lakina? And go into it. And, we're not really related by blood. ... Love you, brother. Anyway, story ends with me, defeating the Kraken. Yada yada yada, Black Goose, Samuel Coltis, Nyogi, flying ships.
This is a long story. We have a lot of shots.
It's
during this.
Yes.
I think all of us.
It's quite the story.
So I'm gonna kick back, put my feet up on the table, shoot back a couple more. Go. So what do you think of that story? Somewhat believable, huh?
Quite unbelievable.
I wouldn't believe it if
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of it, trust me.
Well, let me tell you, buddy, it's not over yet. We got our good buddy Samuel coming tomorrow. This is gonna be fun. Here, have another drink.
And he has another, and he's on like his 5th or 6th by this point.
He's
now.
like so wasted because he's amazing.
Oh yeah, he's got no body mass to him right now.
Yeah.
Like,
So I look over at Shakara and I go, sword, yeah, we're gonna have to stow that away someplace, along with mine. You know, I've been thinking about this. Maybe, Sammy asks any questions, we just tell him, these books that Falzarin has, if it comes up. We got him on these doppelgangers we killed, right?
But he may still take them away. Best to hide them.
Sure, but we just don't want him thinking, the wrong thing about us. We've in good graces. We've sort of read through them, right, Falzarin? I mean, I think we got the information out of him. We could give them back to him as an act of good grace, right? Makes it look like we weren't trying to hide anything. If he finds out, then we're really in a mess.
The swords, though, we could hide them in your bag, Shaft.
And I, glare at Falzarin.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not sure we could come up with a believable story as to why we have so many of his weapons, but Shaft, I think that's not a bad idea.
you'd be surprised what believable story Shaft could come up with.
What do you mean by that, Bron?
Oh, you're gonna lie to your ally? I thought Samuel was an ally of yours.
Well, he's a means to an end.
No. Bron, he's our ally. You gotta see Shaft with these swords. We need to keep them in Shaft's hands.
Yeah, the swords are important. The books are useless. Are mainly useless, I guess.
Well,
Good thing you won't remember any of this in
I
the morning,
suppose.
Bron. It's fine.
I can hold mine.
I'll cheers to him.
I can mine
Yeah,
hold.
What time is Sammy showing up tomorrow? Do we want to go ahead and... Oh, God, I'm so wasted.
I mean, he just said he'd be early. He didn't really give me a specific ETA or anything.
Well, you want to stow the swords in my bag here, Shakara?
Yes, here.
Here. I'll put mine in there, too. Oh, God, I poked myself. Oh, I'm bleeding. Oh, God. Oh, hey, Jelly, I need a large napkin of some kind. Oh, okay. I think I'll be all right. Here, put it in. There we go. There. Now those are stowed away.
I just shake my head at Shaft.
Jesus, this hurts. All right. Anything else we got to talk about before Sammy shows up? Oh, God, I feel that shepherd pie coming back up.
I don't know. Is there anything else you don't want him to know? Because if there is, you gotta tell me now. I'm a pretty honest woman when we get chatting. Samuel's
maybe it would be better for us to not tell you things we don't want him
true.
to know, since you're so honest.
That's actually a good point, Falzarin, for once.
You're a smart feller, Falzarin.
Falzarin is so smart.
I've picked up a thing or two from you, Shaft.
It's about time.
Dreg, have you been experimenting with your power? Have you figured out what all you can do?
I've mostly been training with my dagger.
Bron, can you heal him?
And I'll gesture to drag and his lack of appendages.
Oh, I could give it a shot.
In the morning.
No, do it now. I want to see it. I want to see you do it.
Mayhaps it'd be best
A
if he
wasted
rested
cleric.
first.
Now, Bron
He's
can do
gonna
it.
give him the wrong type of hand.
He's gonna have 2 right hands.
One time I gave him a foot.
Go ahead, Drake. Put your hand on the table. Come on.
In the morning, I believe.
In
would
the
be
morning, I agree, Shakara. In the morning.
The power of Thor!
Yeah.
And he downs another drink.
Yeah, to Thor. Yeah, I'll drink to that. And to Dendar. Why not? Hell.
I shake my head again.
When he says Dendar, what is Bron's expression?
Bron's like, he's like, when Shav says that, he's got his cup halfway up to his mouth. What?
Dendar, that's who she believes in.
There's another long story, and it's about Shakara.
And I don't believe we need to go into that this evening.
Oh, come on. Tell about the coven.
Dendo?
Yeah.
Coven?
Shakara is
you'll
a
love this
dragonborn,
story.
can't you tell?
Who are you mixed up with, sister?
I-
Worshipper of the Serpent Mother? A liar and a swindler? As he points to Shaft.
Bron, it was very nice to meet you. I'm going to bed. Hulsa, Drag, are you going to join me?
Swindler?
And I stand up from the table. And I kind of look at Shaft, and then Falzarin,
Good night.
and then Mia. And I, give them a look.
I look at Bron because I'm dead sober, and I say, sometimes you have to make sacrifices for the greater good.
Good evening.
Falzarin kind of looks back at her wide-eyed, shrugs his shoulders, yeah, I didn't say anything.
And Dreg and Halsa will follow you, Shakara, retiring for the night.
Yes.
I'll scooch over next to him. And nobody's ever called me a swindler. Thanks, buddy. Take another drink.
Bron, are you sure you want to keep drinking? I mean, you need some rest.
I've been in a cell for Thor knows how many weeks. This is the best I've felt in forever.
Yeah, lighten up, Mia. Jeez. Thor's not watching all the time. Sometimes he wants you to cut loose a little bit.
Okay. Do you want to play a game?
Yeah.
Okay, it's called what is it called? 2 Truths and a Lie? Yeah.
I don't know. You told me of the game.
Yeah, it's called 2 Truths and a Lie. Okay, Shaft?
All right.
You tell me 2
Sure.
truths and a lie, and I have to figure out the lie.
Oh.
She loved playing this as a kid.
Yeah, Bron will help me figure out the lie.
Wait,
Falzarin too.
I don't understand. You start.
Oh. Okay, 2 truths and a lie. Okay.
I'll start. You're too slow. 3 lies and a truth. Here we go.
I could do that game.
Okay.
I hate Drukal. I loved spending time with Hannah. I've only been kidnapped once.
I'm gonna guess that the truth is you hate Drukal.
Ding!
The truth is you... Wait. Did you say you had fun with Hannah?
That's what I said.
Okay, that's the lie.
Eh.
Oh. Bron.
Wait, what room did she take you in first?
She had lots of interrogation techniques.
Okay, like what?
Do you
People
want me
pay
to get
good money
into
for
this?
that.
Yeah. Did you get in the bathtub?
There was a tub.
Oh, Bron, don't go in the tub. Trust me.
Okay.
I'm glad you killed her.
Shh, Bron, shh.
There's nobody in here.
Yeah. Right? Is anybody in here hear about us killing Hannah?
Oh my goodness.
See? Nobody said a word.
Okay, Bron, I think the game's over.
Not even that guy
yeah.
in the corner over there acting like he didn't hear me.
The game's over, Bron. Come on, let's go to bed. And I stand up and try to pull at his arm.
Come on, Falzarin, you and me, buddy. Here, I'll get a bottle.
Oh,
Falzarin,
Shaft,
take care of Shaft,
I don't
please.
know. I think maybe I don't want to speak for you, but I think I've had one too many.
Does Bron come with me even reluctantly at all?
Yeah. Bron will kind of get up and stagger along.
There's like a little bit of foot dragging and sliding on the floor and just sort of have to do... He's not injured anymore, really. He's rested, but he's got to put his arm around my neck like earlier. And I take him up to our room.
I take another really big swig from the bottle, lay it on the counter, and sort of fall back into the booth. I'm going to lay here for a while, Falzarin. Things are spinning. I'll be up in a minute. Can you tiny hut me here?
It doesn't work that way, Shaft.
I don't want anybody to stab me. Remember that?
Yes, what a fond memory it was.
As Mia walks up, she just looks back at Shaft, and there's like a little bit in the back of her mind is like, is Shaft putting on a show so that he can have a talk with Falzarin, or is he really that drunk? But then there's nothing she can do about it, because Bron is drunk, so she just keeps walking.
Falzy's gonna stop and try and grab Shaft, pull him up, and help him walk up to the room. Come on, Shaft. Let's get up to the room.
Can you carry me on your shoulder?
I can try. Falsey will kind of reach down, try and put Shaft's arm around his shoulder, and realize that with Shaft's arm around his shoulder, Shaft's feet aren't going to reach the floor.
Yeah, on your shoulder.
Maybe
Carry me.
you can put your arm around my waist and...
Oh, I don't want to do that. Just carry me.
So what Falzarin's going to do, Shaft, it's almost the end of the day. I'm hoping to get some rest and recover some of my magic. So he'd like to cast one of his new spells that he has not used yet.
Oh.
This is called Bigby's Hand. It's a 5th level spell. Just hang on tight, Shaft. I think this is gonna work.
What is Bigby's hand?
What happens?
So this large sort of shimmering hand comes out and tries to sort of get Shaft up onto his feet and hold him up while Shaft stumbles. I think Shaft's going to have to walk a little bit on his own, but it can carry the majority of his weight, I think.
Oh my god, what the hell is going on? I'm hallucinating.
No, Shaft, this is just a magical experience we're having together.
Oh, dear God. I hope we don't wake up together, Falzarin.
That hand can grab you in all the right places.
Oh my gosh.
I've heard this one before. Just get me to my bed.
So, let's see. For mechanical reasons here.
How much damage does Shaft take?
That's a lot of damage. It has a strength score of 26, so I mean, to be able to muscle a halfling up onto his feet and hold him, I think it probably would be up to the task.
Yes, the hand's going to easily pick up Shaft.
Okay.
I mean, Shaft weighs like 45 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, Falzarin could pick him up. He's a child. He's child size.
Well,
He's
Falzarin's
fun-sized,
pretty
okay?
Gangly.
Fun size, that's what I call it.
Yeah. I knew you'd like that one.
Okay, so you can get Shaft to bed with this huge hand. How big is this hand?
I think it's considered large. Yeah, it's a large, like the equivalent of a large creature, I guess.
Okay. Shaft, you're kind of floating in the palm of this big bee's hand.
I love it.
So Falzarin has had quite a few drinks, but not as much as Shaft. He'll sort of stumble his way back up to the room with Shaft in tow.
I will take just Mia on Mike. So Mia and Bron, you both, Mia, you get Bron to your room, and yeah, he kind of just stumbles in. I'm so glad to see you, sister.
Yeah, me too.
Too long. It's been too long.
I know, lots changed. Lots happened. I mean, we have to save the world.
You were always set up for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we sure could use any help we could get. I hope we can get you strong enough to help us.
I'm worried about Mother and Father.
Yeah, me too.
What about the rest of the family?
I haven't talked to Telma or Adder. I don't know. How were they when you left?
I mean, Adder was as energetic as he's ever been. It was sad to leave them even for what was supposed to be just a short time.
It's hard to believe that they're not mind-controlled as well if Mom and Dad couldn't stand up to the Neogi. I'm worried, Bron, but I don't know what we can do other than the here and now and the big fight, the battle, the struggle it's gonna be here, and we can deal with Barrick when the time comes.
I trust your judgment. I worry about... I just keep thinking, why did she want you?
I don't know, because it wasn't that long ago that I had talked to Hannah, and she knew where I was. Unless she was just really interested in my knowledge and experience with the Neogi,
Look at my face!
I know.
She wouldn't have done this to me just if she wanted to talk to you.
She wanted to control me? I don't know. From what I understand, Hannah was feeding these Neogi people. You're lucky you didn't become lunch.
Was the Neogi eat people?
Well, Darklings? Where did all the Darklings go? Did you see any down there?
I was too busy running.
Were you free and running at some point?
All those everything there was new. I've never seen any of those tunnels before.
I honestly don't know what Hannah wanted with me. I don't know. I was working with the Darklings. I was not working with them. I was trying to stop people from disappearing and being captured in Drukal. When the lack of activity and prospects, I moved to Pisces to look for Neogi activity there, and then next thing you know, there's a kraken ravaging through the city, and I ran into Shikara, and you heard the story. I mean, maybe word has now spread that I'm a demigod. I'm in touch with Thor. I'm a weapon to be yielded. I don't know. You don't think that's it?
I don't know if Hannah's given the Neogi these Darkling people. What else would she give them?
I don't know. That's what I mean. Maybe they are looking for people to control in their fight against the Paladins. Maybe Samuel will know. He's a pretty wise man. I trust him.
That's why I was confused that we were going to lie to him.
Well, Shaft is someone that bends the rules, and he's always going to be, but he's a good guy, and he will have our backs. You've seen that in the tunnels. And you saw him wielding those swords, and the swords were stolen, sure, and Samuel doesn't know it, but did you see the damage he does with them? I mean, it's for the greater good.
I saw him. I don't like the lies. I know deep down Shaft has his own pure motives. He's just a guy in love. That's all.
Yeah?
Well, he hasn't talked about his love. I mean, he didn't have much time to talk about it to me when he had his sword on me, but
So wait.
I could tell he was a nice guy.
So, when you met Shaft, it wasn't just in a carriage, sharing a ride?
Oh, we were definitely in a wagon.
A Neogi wagon?
No, it was much nicer than that.
Wait, so who's Killian? He left Shaft for dead, and you were captive by Killian? Like, is this how you met?
Killian kidnapped me from Shaft kidnapping me. Killian outplayed Shaft.
Shaft was out for the bounty on the Brightwoods.
Oh, yeah. I was not going to tell... Don't tell Mia, though. She'd be really mad.
I mean, I'm Mia.
Oh.
That's okay.
Crap.
It's okay, Bron. It's okay. You got captured. It happens. It's happened to me, I think.
There was an explosion at the mayor's place. I ran out. I saw Shaft there. He put me in this carriage and then told me he was taking me to get his reward. But it's okay. He was doing it for love.
And then Killian backstabbed him, so you ended up in the prison cell with Hannah because of Shaft?
Oh, long story short, I guess. But Killian set him up.
Yeah.
You gotta ask Shaft.
He is pretty obsessed with finding Killian. We haven't had any luck.
I think he's pissed.
I mean, sounds like it. So he wants revenge.
Wouldn't you?
Well, yes.
Sounds like they were when Killian dragged me off, he left Shaft with his goons. I thought Shaft was a goner.
Well, in the time that's passed, Shaft and I have come to be able to rely on each other. I know he speaks in half-truths and omits some things, but he's got our backs.
I'm just glad that I don't have to lie to you about it anymore.
Were you really in Drukal to set up a new temple? 'Cause I hadn't heard anything about those plans.
Yeah, well, since you left, Mother and Father have been really adamant about it. I think the thinking was maybe if we could spread the temples that we'd find you and you come home and help, but honestly, I really wanted to get out of Barrack.
I know that. We've had many a talk about how you didn't want to be the one carrying on the traditions and responsibilities in Barrack.
Maybe if I had stayed at home, the family would be fine.
Oh, Bron, you can't blame yourself. That's not your fault. It's probably my fault. There was one lone Nyogi that promised me he wouldn't capture and he wouldn't attack Barrack, and I trusted that slimy, sly creature, and those Nyogi have no remorse.
We'll get them all.
They are a parasite, a sickness, an illness that's creeping over Aspara. And as far as Shaft, I wouldn't bring up his love story. He doesn't have a very good ending.
No, he got dumped?
Did you hear about the sickness?
Just the rumors that made it to Barrack.
Well, there was an illness that went over through Victor, and we're pretty sure we have the essence or soul of Nina, but it was powering a mechanical beast. It's a mess.
What?
Yeah, it's a mess.
No wonder he needed a drink.
And unfortunately, Bron, believe it or not, the Paladins of Cultus, who we're about to meet and team up with, again, allies we don't want to lie to, they're the ones who were equipping these mechanical beasts and using them to find this missing armor. So Shaft is, I don't really know why he's still adventuring with us, to be honest. He's been through some stuff.
I bet it's still for love.
To try to figure out how to get Nina back.
I know that's what I would do.
Perhaps we could use that with Samuel or the Paladins. Try to figure out a way to get her back. If anyone knows, they would know.
Well, it sounds like they know where the mechanical creatures are from.
Did you understand what they were trying to do with Hannah's body down in the prison?
Didn't you recognize the statue?
Not really, to be honest. With that anti-magic field and everything going on, I didn't remember much.
Hell, that was Grass. He's just a low demon prince. Just sounded like they were praying to me. They would do it constantly, even before Hannah died.
Really?
Ugh, just so annoying. honestly one of the worst parts down there.
So you know all the prayers.
Oh, I know some of them, and just you hear it over and over and over again.
And did any of it make sense? Did it sound like they were summoning something? Did it give them any powers? Did anything change? Anything happen?
I don't know if anything would have changed in that anti-magic field, but they just kept calling Hannah one of the chosen. Gratz has a whole bunch of priestesses all over the place. That's his shtick, you know. Vile demons. I mean, what was Hannah? You saw the lion parts.
Yeah, it's true. She wasn't quite what she seemed. So priestess sounds about right. Those jackal wares, they're pretty nasty. I didn't know if there was more that we should be worried about going on under call. With Gratz, that's right. I kinda remember him. I wasn't the best in history, you know that.
Yeah, you like the sparring more than
Exactly. Why study and read when I can fight?
You haven't changed in a year, sister.
You'll get along with Falzer, and he loves books.
Oh, that's excellent. He seems a little quiet at the table. Is he always like that?
Yeah. When he opens his mouth, you'll understand, it takes too long, and yeah. He can swim really fast, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he has some skills.
Oh, what do you think about Dreg? Do you think you could heal him? In the morning. Please, not right now.
Look, I don't know. His injuries were severe. I'm not sure I have the capability.
I was promising to take him to Mom and Dad, but with everything that's going on, it's not happening soon.
Look, I have to tell you, this whole Dendar thing gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I mean, trust me, Shakara and I have been at it, but yeah, this coven, I mean, she's part of a coven. She tried to recruit me to Dendar.
What?
To a coven.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, I can't be swayed, but again, as evil as Dendar may be, something about Shakara, she looks out for us.
Look, everything she said to me had a crazy ominous undertone. She creeps me out.
Well, we don't need to pick a fight with her at all. Just pretend it's Thor or something.
But does she always talk like that?
With the voice, like...
I mean, the voice I actually kind of like. It's just... She seemed like she was hinting at so much more. I don't know what to make of it.
I mean, I guess I didn't pick up on that.
Maybe you're just used to it.
Probably at this point.
And I've had a lot of drinks.
A lot of drinks, Bron. You should get some rest.
Okay, I call bed.
Totally fine.
He starts to like pull at the armor that you had put him in and like slowly starts to fumble his way out of it all.
Alright, good night, Bron.
Good night, Mia.
That's it. That's all we have for you. That's our show. Be sure to follow us on the social media. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all on the website, incorrigibleparty.com. You get all kinds of information there. Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design, you know. And all ambient sounds and music during the episodes are courtesy of tabletopaudio.com. And our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. You can find him at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Now scram. Happy adventuring.